You didn't just answer their question, you defended yourself. You gave context they didn't ask for. You explained your reasoning. You kept going, even after the point was already clear. And later, when you were alone, you replayed the whole thing, wondering if it was enough, wondering if they actually believed you, wondering why you still feel like you have something to prove. But here's what most people never realize. It's not that you explain too much. It's why you feel the need to. Think about the last time someone questioned you. Maybe it was something small, a decision, a boundary, a simple choice. And before they even finished speaking, you were already building your case. You pulled out reasons. You stacked up evidence. You answered questions they hadn't even asked yet. And when it was over, even if they said, okay, even if they nodded, you didn't feel relieved. You felt drained. And somehow, still not fully believed. That's the loop. You explain. They seem satisfied. You feel temporarily okay. And then it happens again. But here's the truth. The explaining was never fixing the real problem. You might call it communication. You might say you're just being clear, thoughtful, thorough. But notice this. You don't do it with everyone. You explain more when you feel judged, more when someone's opinion matters to you, more when a part of you already feels like you did something wrong, even when you didn't. That's not communication. That's a defense mechanism, disguised as logic. And it doesn't just affect conversations, it affects your decisions. You hesitate because you're already thinking about how you'll explain them. It affects your relationships. They feel overwhelmed. You feel misunderstood. And slowly, it shapes how you see yourself. Like someone who always needs to justify their right to just be. But listen carefully. There's nothing wrong with you. What you're experiencing was learned. At some point, probably early on, you discovered something important. Words created safety. Maybe in a certain environment, a parent, a classroom, a household dynamic. Being questioned didn't feel neutral. It felt unsafe. Not physically, but emotionally. And you adapted. You learned that if you explained enough, clearly enough, carefully enough, eventually the tension would drop. Eventually, you'd be understood. Eventually, you'd be okay. That wasn't weakness. That was intelligence. The problem is, that strategy worked back then. So now your brain keeps using it, even when you don't need it anymore, even when no one is attacking you, even when the moment has already passed. Your brain stores patterns, not just memories, but responses. So when something feels similar to the past, a tone, a question, a look, your brain doesn't ask, is this actually dangerous? It asks, what worked last time? And it runs the same script. That's what psychologists call a core belief. Something like, my choices aren't valid unless I prove them. And that belief runs quietly in the background, shaping how you react, how you speak, how you feel. It's like having a smoke detector that was installed during a fire. Now it goes off. Even when you make toast, the alarm isn't broken. It's just too sensitive. And no matter how much you explain things to other people, it doesn't calm the alarm, because the alarm isn't coming from them. So what do you actually do? Not motivation. Not just stop caring. Something real. First, start noticing the moment. Before you explain, pause and ask yourself, am I answering a question or defending myself? Those are not the same thing. One is about communication. The other is about fear, and just noticing that difference is where change begins. Second, let the discomfort exist. That urge to explain, it's your brain trying to reduce tension. But every time you rush to explain just to feel better, you teach your brain, this is the only way to be okay. So instead, try something different. Say less. I made that choice because it felt right to me. And then, stop. Let the silence sit. It will feel uncomfortable. For a few seconds, it might feel unbearable. But then it passes, and your brain starts learning something new. I can feel this, and still be okay. Third, pay attention to who triggers this most, because it's not everyone. There are certain people, certain tones, certain dynamics that pull you back into that old pattern. That's not random. That's information. Not about your worth, but about where the pattern came from. And finally, shift the belief, not just the behavior. The belief is, I need to be approved to be valid. And the only way to change that is through experience. Small ones, quiet ones, moments where you make a decision, don't over-explain it, and nothing bad happens. That's how your brain updates, not through words, but through evidence. So remember this. Every time you feel the urge to over-explain, two things are happening. Something in the present, and something much older inside you. You've been trying to fix the internal feeling by controlling the external situation. That's why it never really works. The goal isn't to explain better. The goal is to slowly stop needing their belief to feel okay with your own. You were once someone who needed to be believed and didn't always get that. So you built a system, a logical one, a protective one, but also an exhausting one. And now the work is different, not louder, not more convincing, just quieter. Learning, little by little, that you can take up space without a defense, that your choices don't need a jury, that even in a room where people don't fully understand you, you are still complete, just as you are.